Is there anything wrong, folks? Whew, I heard some noise.
No, there's nothing wrong. You can take this back. We're finished with it.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Well, what are you all looking at?
You know, I don't see any need to act like children here.
Nor do I. We have a responsibility here. This is one of the reasons, it's one of the most remarkable things about democracy. That we are, what is the word, notified. That we are notified by mail to come down to this place and judge the guilt or the innocence of a man that we have never known before. This is one of the reasons that we are strong. We should not make it a personal thing.
Thank you. Thank you.
Why do you thank me?
We forget sometimes, and it's good to be reminded.
I'm glad that we're going to be civilized about this.
Well, we're still nowhere.
No, we are somewhere. Or getting there, maybe.
Maybe.
Well, does anybody have any bright ideas?
I think we should try another vote. Mrs. Foreman.
Oh, that sounds all right for me. Anybody doesn't want to vote?
Let's
Right.
call our votes out. I want to know who stands where.
All right, that sounds fair enough. I'll just call off your jury numbers. I vote guilty. Number 2, not guilty. 3,
Guilty.
4,
Guilty.
5, not guilty. 6,
Not guilty.
7,
Kid's guilty, pal.
8, not guilty. 9, not guilty. 10,
Guilty.
11,
Not guilty.
and 12.
He's guilty.
Come on.
I'll tell you something. The crime is being committed right in this room.
All right, the vote is 6 to 6.
I am ready to walk into that courtroom right now and declare this a hung jury. There's no point in this going on anymore.
Yeah, I'd go.
I'd like to know why you changed your vote, and know why you changed your vote, and why you changed your vote. There are 6 men and women here who think that we are turning a murderer loose into the streets. Right? Ma'am, emotion won't do. Why?
It would seem that the old man did not see the boy run downstairs.
Yes.
I do not think it's likely that the old man heard someone scream, "I'm going to kill you!" Old men dream. If the boy did scream that he was going to kill, then we have the authority of this mayor to prove that it might not really mean he's going to kill.
Okay, let's admit that we're hung. Let's take it into the judge. Let this kid take his chances of following the guy.
Look,
huh?
the vote is 6 to 6. I don't think we'll ever agree
Yeah.
on anything.
Well, it's gotta be unanimous. And we're never going to convince her.
You know, at first I was alone. And now 5 others agree with me because there is a doubt.
You can't ever convince me that there's a doubt, because I know there isn't no doubt.
I tell you what! Maybe we are a hung jury. It happens sometimes.
We are not going to be a hung jury. We can't.
But we are, right now. A perfect balance. Come on, let's take it into the judge.
If there is a reasonable doubt, I don't see it.
The doubt is there. I mean, it's in my mind. Look, maybe we should vote.
What do you mean, vote?
Not again.
Whoa. I still want to know. Vote on what?
Okay, are we or aren't we a hung jury? You mean that we vote yes, we are a hung jury, or no, that we are not a hung jury? I mean, yeah, that's just what I was thinking of, but yeah.
We can't even agree agree on whether or not the window should be open. How are we going to agree on this?
Let's make it a majority vote. The majority wins.
So if 7 or more of us vote yes, then we take it into the judge and say that we're a hung jury.
Right, and if 7 or more vote no, then we aren't a hung jury and we go on discussing it.
It doesn't seem quite right to me, though. It's the only solution.
Yeah, I agree. It's the only way.
Sure, anything to end this.
Yeah.
All right, so are we agreed? 7 or more votes yes, and we take it into the judge.
All right, let's call our votes out.
All right, I vote yes, we are a hung jury. Number 2. No. 3.
Yes.
4.
Yes, sure.
5. No. 6. No. 7.
Yep.
8. No. 9. No. 10.
Yes.
11.
No.
And 12.
Yeah!
Oh, good God.
We cannot even get
It's a majority to decide whether or not we're a hung jury.
Actually, I went along with the majority vote on this one, and I don't quite agree with voting that way.
Hold on.
And I still don't. So I'm changing my vote. I say no, we are not a hung jury. Because I believe that this kid is guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. There are some things I'd like to learn from those men and women that change their minds.
All right, so we aren't a hung jury, and we'll go on discussing. Good. Go on.
Man.
Why did you change your mind?
Well, she seemed so sure, and she made a number of good points, while, he just got mad and insulted everyone.
Okay. But does the anger and the insult change the guilt of the kid?
No, that's...
Because he did do it. So are you going to turn a murderer loose into the street because, oh, one of the jurors gets angry but he thinks a murderer is being turned loose?
That's not what I meant. Sir, there's a doubt. Yeah.
I don't think so.
Hey.
The track is straight in front of the window. Let's take that one. L-trains screech when they go around turns. Yes. So the old man could have heard a scream, which is high-pitched. And it is a tenement, and they have thin walls. Good. Good. That's it. That's it.
Yeah.
So what if the old man was wrong about the time it took him to get to the door, but he was right about whom he saw? Keep in mind, there weren't any fingerprints found on the knife, so it is summer, and gloves seem unlikely.
Now, I want you to listen to this man. He has the goods.
And it would have taken a few seconds to get a handkerchief and wipe the fingerprints away, yes.
This is a point.
Why don't we time this one? Just to see.
Sorry, I'm a bit confused on that. What exactly would we be timing?
Yeah.
Yes, let's be exact.
I am saying that the old man may have been wrong about the time it took him to get from the bedroom to the front door, but that he was right about whom he saw running down those stairs. Now, it may have taken about 39 seconds, yes, to get a handkerchief and wipe the fingerprints away and beat it down to where the old man saw him. The boy, that is. This is right.
Look, we reconstructed the old man getting out of bed and going to the door, and we timed that. So now, let's reconstruct the actual crime. Yes, as best as we can reconstruct it.
You know, I think a murderer could use up 30 or even 40 seconds up pretty easily at that point.
Let's reconstruct the killing. All right, could you give me the knife? Thank you. You. How about you do the stabbing? Oh.
I don't think so.
I'll do it.
Yeah.
All right. And, you. You're younger than I am. So, why don't you be the one getting stabbed? And let's not forget, you take a second to fall.
Oh. So, the old man was found on his side, his right side. So, fall and roll over onto your right side. And if someone is clear enough mentally to kill someone, don't you think it's reasonable to suppose that they would look at their victim for a second or two?
Yeah, and to voice yourself in this particular case, just human nature.
Yes, it seems reasonable.
Hold on. He gets stabbed and he lands on his right side, the father does, but stabbing someone isn't like shooting him. Even if he got stabbed in the heart, he still would have had a few seconds alive. Working around on the ground, writhing, maybe?
That's quite reasonable. There would have been enough oxygen in his system to carry him for 2 or 3 seconds, I should suppose.
Wouldn't the father have cried out?
Maybe the kid held his mouth.
That also seems possible.
Also, there's another point we might bring up. Anyone who is clear enough to wipe away the fingerprints after stabbing someone, well, that person is also clear enough to look around the apartment, or the room, in this case, to see if there are any clues. Would have been just for a second or two, but still, I think they would have looked around.
This just gets better and better.
Well, we're trying to make it clear. One doesn't talk about quality when murder is involved.
Look, about this on the fingerprints. The kid wiped the prints off of the knife. But what about the doorknobs? Look, if I saw a man coming into my home, a man that hated me, and if he were wiping the doorknobs with a handkerchief as he came in, it would give me an uneasy feeling. So, it stands to reason that the kid wiped the doorknob after the killing, and this too would take some time.
Yes.
Yeah. Excuse me, ma'am. You timed the last one, so come here. Wanted to time this one too?
Sure.
Come here, buddy. Stop your foot when you want me to start.
All right.
We're waiting.
Yeah, what's going on here?
I'm waiting for the hand to get to 60. I
Oh, yes.
I'm going to kill you.
Here it is.
All right, bye.
Right, on your right side. Go on your right side.
Right side.
There you go. Now look at him. Really look at him.
I'm looking.
In his soul. Yes.
Open the handkerchief. Bye-bye fingerprints.
There you go. Well, look
All
at
right,
him.
doorknob.
Doorknob.
Don't not get me. I'm doing this. Right.
Deaf people don't do this.
Make sure you both of the doorknobs. Both of
You
the
would have liked both
doorknobs.
knobs.
Yeah.
All right. Looking around.
Both sides. Remember, you don't want
Both sides of the shield.
He's gonna rush look for all of them.
All right. Stop.
Right. 15, yeah. 15, 20, 25, 29 and a half seconds.
Yes! Please! And whoever did murder the old man, and I think it was the boy, he still would have had to beat it down the hall and down the stairs. At least 1 flight of stairs. You see? You see? So the old man may have been wrong about the time, but frankly, in view of this, I think it's quite reasonable to suppose that he did see the kid run downstairs.
Well, look at that. Even after both tests, the one you did and, the one that we did, with running down the stairs and the hallways and everything, it seems pretty much check out on time.
Sure, he's an old man who wants attention. He's probably right, but the old man feels the way everyone does, a life's at stake.
So the story of the old man may as well be true.
Yeah.
Except for the fact that he absolutely swore under oath that it was only 15 seconds.
And we all seem to agree that it was 25 to 40 seconds later.
Yes, you are now admitting that the old man lied in one case and told the truth in the other. And this does tend to confirm the story of the old man in some way, but in part, he is now a proven liar. And this is by your own admission.
That may be true that the old man lies in part, but I think this will change my vote once more. Mrs. Foreman, guilty.
And, you. What do you think now?
I'm not too sure what to think. I want to talk some more. At first, I thought guilty. Then I changed, and now I'm sort of swinging back to guilty.
All right. And, what about you, Euro? What do you think?
No, I'm in real doubt now. Real doubt.
Yeah, Mrs. Foreman, I'd like to change my vote back to guilty as well. I was right the first time, so no yelling, please.
Now, we're starting to make a lick of sense in here.
All right. The vote is 9-3 in favor of guilty. Ladies and gentlemen, one more question. It's about the old man downstairs. How many of you live in apartment buildings?
don't know what you're thinking, but I know what I'm thinking.
And what's that?
Well, I do not live in a tenement, but well, it's close in there, and there's just enough light in the hall that you can see your steps. No more. Well, it's dark. The light bulbs are small, no? And this murder took place in a tenement. Well, remember how we stumbled on the steps?
The police officers were using big bulbs, and one even had a flashlight, remember?
Exactly, an old man who misjudged the time by 24 seconds. On this, we all agree. This old man looked down a dark hallway and he recognized a figure running.
I mean, he was 100% wrong about the time. It took twice as long as he thought.
Then could not this old man also be 100% wrong about who he saw?
That's the most idiotic thing I've ever heard of. You're making that up out of thin air.
Okay, we're a hung jury. Let's be honest about it. Do you truly believe that there is no room for reasonable doubt?
Yes.
Yeah, I do.
Well, begging your pardon, but perhaps you don't understand the term reasonable doubt.
What do you mean I don't understand?
I'm simply
Who do you think you are to talk to me like that? What do you think I am, an idiot or something? How do you like this guy?
I don't.
Oh, they're all the same, aren't they? They come into this country running for their life. Before they can take a big breath of fresh air, they're telling us how to run the show, huh? The arrogance of him!
No one here is asking where anyone came from.
I was born right here, all right?
Or where your father came from.
You know, maybe it wouldn't hurt us to take a few tips from some people who came running here. You know, maybe they learned something that we haven't. We're not so perfect.
That's quite all right. I'm used
No,
to this.
it's not all right. This is
Okay.
not all right.
Okay. I apologize on my knees. Is that what you want?
Yes, that's what I want.
Good.
All right. Can we stop fighting now? Does anyone have anything constructive to say?
Hey, something's been bothering me a little. This whole business about the stab wound and how it was made, the downward angle of it, you know, it's...
They went over it, and over it, and over it in court.
I know they did, but I don't go along with it. Listen, the boy is 5 feet 8 inches tall, right?
Right.
His father is 6 feet 2 inches tall.
So...
That's a difference of 6 inches. It's a very awkward thing to stab downwards into the chest of someone who's half a foot taller than you are.
Look, you're not gonna believe me until I give you an example.
Example?
So, I'll give you an example. Someone come here.
Somebody has to.
Oh, what do you sure? I mean, I can do it.
This one. Right this way.
Don't punch her. What are the bills?
Is this 6 inches?
I don't know. Yes, it's more than 6 inches.
Okay, let it be more than 6 inches.
Oh, you don't need to.
That's not funny.
What's the matter with you?
No one's hurt, now are they?
No. Nobody's hurt.
Well, there you go. There's your angle. Down and in. That's how I stab a taller man in the chest, and that is how it was done. Look at it and tell me I'm wrong.
Down and in, I guess there's no arguments.
Well, did you ever stab a man?
Of course not.
Oh, well, did you?
Let's not be silly.
No, did you?
No, I didn't.
Well, then where did you get all your information about how it's done, huh?
Are you kidding me? It's just common sense.
But have you ever seen somebody stabbed?
No.
Okay. Then I want to ask you something. The boy was an experienced knife fighter, even sent to reform school for knifing someone, right?
Well, yeah, that's true.
All right.
Oh, great. Another person with a knife.
Oh, no. Look at this.
Oh, look.
Seems like an awkward way to just handle a switch knife.
Yeah.
What are you asking me?
Hey, wait a minute, before you do anything, jeez, what's the matter with me? I don't know. Hand me the knife, please. Thank you.
Oh, let me guess.
The other person with
You've seen a knife fight?
Oh, yeah, I have, actually.
bad people. Anyways, can I use her for a second? Thank you.
Okay.
Anyone who's ever had experience with switchblades would never have stabbed downwards. You don't handle switch knives that way. It's hard bone. Experienced fighters would have used it underhand, where it's soft.
So then he couldn't have made that kind of wound to kill his father, right?
No, I suppose it is conceivable that he could have made the stab wound, but it's very not likely. Not if he's had an experience, which we all know for a fact that the kids had experience with knife fights.
I don't buy into it.
Yeah, me neither. You're giving us a lot of mumbo jumbo.
Well, what do you think?
Well, one second. I don't know.
What about you?
All right, listen, I'll tell you all something. I'm getting a little sick of this whole yakety-yakking back and forth. Let's break it up and go home, you know? We're getting nowhere fast.
Before we decide anything more, I would like to try and just pull this together.
Oh, this should be good.
Hey, come on.
She has a right.
Do you want me to time this one too? All right, let's hear her.
Oh, come on, guys. I'm in advertising. I'm used to the big shots trying to pull things together like this at the last moment. Let's chip up a few shots and see if they land on green.
Yeah.
I want all of you to look at this logically and consistent.
We have. Guilty.
Yeah.
I would like to know, is this kid smart or is he dumb?
What do you mean?
Well, this is a kid who has gone to reform school for knifing someone, and on the night of the murder, he did buy a switch knife. So it would then take a very stupid man to go and murder someone, his father, with an instrument that everyone would associate the kid with. Right?
No, hold on. Wait. I agree with you.
This is a
I agree with you on this one. Yeah, no, the kid is quite dumb.
However, if he were dumb, then why would he go and make the kind of wound that an inexperienced man would make with a switch knife?
Excuse me, I don't understand.
To murder someone, it must take great emotion and great hatred. And at that moment, he would have handled the knife the best that he could have. And a trained knife fighter would have handled it as he had been trained, underhand. A man who had not been trained would have handled it overhand. But this kid is being so smart because everyone knows that he's an experienced knife fighter. So he is smart enough to make a kind of wound that an amateur would make. That man, ladies and gentlemen, is a smart man. Smart enough to wipe fingerprints away, perhaps even smart enough to do the killing as an L train is going by. Now, is this kid smart or is this kid dumb?
Now, hold on a minute.
Well, the woman across the L tracks saw the murder through an L train, right? So maybe someone in the train could have seen the murder too?
Yes, a possibility, but no one did that we know of, so...
Well, does the old man lie half the time and then the other half does he tell the truth?
But it would take a very stupid man to take that chance, wouldn't it? A dumb man. A man swept by emotion. He probably didn't even hear anything. He probably didn't even hear the train going by, but whoever did murder the father did as well as he could.
Well, so?
So this kid is dumb enough to do everything to associate himself with that switch knife. A switch knife murder. But then a moment later, he becomes smart. So this kid is smart enough to make a kind of wound that would lead us to suspect somebody else. In the same instant, he is dumb enough to do the killing as an L train is going by, but he's smart enough to wipe fingerprints away as well. To make this boy guilty, you have to say that he's dumb from 8 o'clock until about midnight, and then for 1 second he becomes smart, and then dumb for a few seconds, and then smart again, and then once again he becomes stupid. So incredibly stupid that he doesn't even think of a good alibi. Now, is this kid smart? Or is this kid dumb? Because to say that he is guilty, you have to toss his intelligence like a pancake. Because there is doubt, doubt, doubt.
I hadn't thought of that.
And the old man downstairs as well. On the stand, he swore that it was 15 seconds. He insisted on those 15 seconds. But we can all agree that it had to have been at least 40 seconds. I mean, for this kid to be guilty, you have to say that he's stupid, then smart, then stupid, then smart, and so on. And for this kid to be guilty, you have to say that the old man downstairs is a liar half the time, and the other half the time, he tells the truth. So, yes, you can reasonably doubt.
You know, I think I'm sold on reasonable doubt.
I think I am too.
I wanted more talk, and now I've had it.
Miss Foreman?
Yes.
I would like another vote.
All right. There's another vote has been called for. I guess the quickest way is show of hands. So, all those voting not guilty, raise your hands. All right, that's 9. Okay, guilty.
Yeah.
The vote is 9-3 in favor of acquittal.
Ah! I don't understand you people. How can you believe this kid is innocent? Look, you know how those people lie. I don't have to tell you. They don't know what the truth is. And let me tell you, they don't need any real big reason to kill someone either. You know, they get drunk and bang! Somebody's lying in the gutter. Nobody's blaming them. That's how they are. Do you know what I mean? Violent. Human life don't mean as much to them as it does to us. Hey, where are you all going? Look, these people are drinking and fighting all the time. And if somebody gets killed, so somebody gets killed. They don't care. Oh, sure, there are a few good things about them. I'll be the first to tell you that. I met a few of them who were pretty decent. But that's the exception. Most of them, they don't care. What's going on here? I'm speaking my piece, and you listen to me. They're no good. Not a single one of them is any good. Hey, where are you going? Look, I'm trying to tell you something, and you better listen to me.
If you open your mouth one more damn time, I'm going to split your skull.
I'm only trying to tell you.
All right. Sit down, everyone.
After that,
Come on. Sit down. Still have to talk, don't you?
yes.
Come on. All right. Now that we're done with that, I still believe that the boy is guilty of murder, and I'll tell you why. To me, the most damning piece of evidence came from the woman across the street who actually saw the murder committed. No, hold on. As far as I'm concerned, that's the most important testimony.
All right, then let's go over that testimony. What exactly did she say?
I believe I can recount it accurately. She said that she saw the killing through the windows of her own apartment. While laying down, she could look through the window and across the street. While laying down? Yes. And so she went to bed at around 11 o'clock that night. She looked across the open window and she tossed and turned for over an hour, she said. And then she looked into the window across the street. And she saw the boy stab his father. As far as I can see, this is unshakable testimony. That's what I mean. That's the whole case. I mean, you can throw out all the other evidence. Well, that was my thought at first, yes. But can we say that on one side, there are the tracks, there is a reasonable doubt, but what can you say about the woman? She actually saw it, didn't she?
What time is it?
It's 10 minutes of 6.
Hey, you don't suppose they let us go home and finish this in the morning?
Yeah, not a chance.
I've got a kid with mumps.
Yeah, I'm sorry, ma'am, but I don't think there's any chance.
Can't you see the clock without your glasses?
Not clearly.
Glasses are a nuisance, aren't they?
What do you do when you wake up in the middle of the night and you want to know what time it is?
I put my glasses on and I glance at the clock.
Yeah. I just wait for the clock to chime. My father gave it to me when I was married, my wife and I. It was about 10 years before we found a place to put it.
Well, do you wear your glasses to bed?
Of course not. Who do you think I am?
The woman who testified that she saw the killing, she wears glasses. So what about her?
Well, actually, did she wear glasses?
Yes.
Of course she wore glasses. She wore bifocals. They looked very strong.
Yeah, bifocals. She never took them off.
I hadn't thought of that.
I think it's logical to say that she was not wearing her glasses in bed. And I do not think she put them on just to casually glance out the window, because she testified that she saw the killing, and then a split second later, the lights went out. And so perhaps this woman honestly thought that she saw the boy stab his father, but I think she only saw a blur.
How do you know what she saw? Maybe she's farsighted.
I'm farsighted.
How does she know all these things?
Does anyone in here still think that there is no room for reasonable doubt? Anyone?
I'll always wonder if there is reasonable doubt.
I think he's guilty.
Does anyone else?
No. I'm convinced. There is a reasonable doubt.
You're alone.
I don't care whether I'm alone or not. I think this kid's guilty. What else do you want from me?
Your arguments.
I gave you my
But
arguments.
we're not convinced. We're waiting to hear them again. We have time. Come on.
Come on. What's the matter with you? You're the guy. You made all the arguments. A killer, a dangerous man, a guilty man is going to be set free on the streets. He's gotta die. Come on, stay with me. I'm sorry. I'm convinced. Usually I don't think I'm wrong often, but I guess I was this once.
We're waiting.
You are not going to intimidate me. I have a right. I have a right to my own opinion. I'm entitled.
You have a right. You're correct, okay?
It's not going to be a hung jury. No. You're wrong. It is. It's going to be a hung jury. That's it. What? That's the end of the case.
Well, guess there's nothing that we can do about that except hope that someday, maybe in a few months, you might get some sleep.
Yeah, I'm sorry, sir, but you're all alone. But it does take a great deal of courage to stand alone.
If it is a hung jury, then some of us will just point these things out to the various lawyers. Okay.
All right. All right. guilty.